Chosen one, listen carefully because this moment will not come twice. Heaven is leaning close, and the gates of destiny are trembling above your head. There are moments in life that cannot be postponed, bargained with, or ignored, and this is one of them. Heaven is not whispering to you for comfort. Heaven is thundering to awaken you, not to soothe, but to summon. Not to pat your shoulder, but to shake your soul awake. You have walked too long through the gray zone of invisibility seen by others, yet never truly recognized for who you are. You've endured days when the light in your eyes dimmed, not because you were weak, but because silent assaults have drained your spirit piece by piece. And the most dangerous part is this. You've started to believe it's normal. You've begun to accept exhaustion, numbness, and fading as your fate. But heaven is shouting now, no. This was never your destiny. You were not born to blur into the crowd. You were not crafted to be manipulated by the dark currents swirling around you. You were not chosen to quietly endure and disappear. You were chosen to blaze, to wear a divine crown on your head, to carry heaven's current in your soul, and to walk this earth as a living prophecy. But right now, that destiny is under siege. And if you do not pause to listen, everything God has written about you could be buried beneath the dust of your indifference. Michael, the archangel assigned to guard you, has bowed before the throne, pleading to intervene because time is running out. He has seen the invisible forces working to break your spirit by targeting something that seems small, almost trivial. Your hair, the crown God placed upon you. And he knows this truth. If you do not awaken, you will lose the river of blessings prepared for you before you were ever formed in your mother's womb. This is not a soft message. This is a siren from heaven. This is a summons from destiny. And you have only one choice. Either continue walking as if you are ordinary, or stop, listen, and rise into the role heaven marked out for you before the foundations of the world. Chosen one, heaven does not knock twice, and today, this is the knock. Comment with the number 777 below. That number, 777, is a sacred sign of divine appointment, a declaration to heaven that you are ready to rise from invisibility and step into the destiny God wrote for you before you were born. If you are truly a chosen one, your spirit already knows this call is yours. And you'll stay until the end, because this is not just a message, it is a divine summons, a moment where heaven itself is thundering your name. Are you ready to claim your crown? Let's walk into the destiny prepared for you. Chosen one, you must understand this. What the world calls just hair has never been just hair in heaven's eyes. Your hair is not decoration, not vanity, not a random feature of your body. It is the crown God placed upon you at birth, a silent banner declaring your divine origin, your royal lineage, and the destiny heaven entrusted to your soul. From your first breath, your hair has been more than strands of keratin. It has been a living thread, woven between your spirit and the throne of God. Each strand carries memory. It holds the whisper of your ancestors, their survival, their victories, their faith, their courage when the world turned against them. It remembers the touch of those who loved you and the intent of those who sought to harm you. It holds the record of blessings spoken over your life, and even the weight of curses uttered in secret. This is why heaven has never treated your hair as trivial. And this is why the enemy has always sought to defile it, because what carries memory carries power, as C.S. Lewis eloquently stated in The Weight of Glory. We are half-hearted creatures, fooling about with drink and sex and ambition when infinite joy is offered us, like an ignorant child who wants to go on making mud pies in a slum because he cannot imagine what is meant by the offer of a holiday at the sea. This insight reveals that your hair, far from being trivial, is a sacred conduit to the infinite joy of your divine calling, a crown that connects you to heaven's eternal purpose. Your hair is a conduit, a channel of spiritual energy flowing between your body and your soul. It amplifies your life force, anchors your sense of identity, and signals your spiritual vitality to the unseen realm. This is why your energy falters when your hair feels heavy or lifeless, because your crown has been clouded. This is why you feel more alive when your hair shines, because the spiritual circuit within you is flowing unobstructed. What touches your hair touches your soul, and what touches your soul shapes your destiny. You must stop thinking of your hair as merely physical. You must begin to see it as what it truly is, a mantle of authority. Kings wear crowns to signify their calling. You carry yours naturally. Every day it rests on your head, declaring silently to both angels and demons that you are set apart, that you belong to heaven, that you are marked. This is why Michael has come not to flatter you, but to wake you up. Because if your crown falls into neglect, your authority will follow it to the ground. Chosen one, you are crowned. You have always been crowned, and heaven is demanding that you start living like it. Chosen one, it is time you confront a truth you have tried to dismiss. You are not tired because you are weak. You are tired because you have been under attack. Not the obvious, open kind of attack that shouts and leaves scars on your skin, but the subtle, quiet, invisible kind that seeps into your spirit through the unnoticed places, through whispers, through envy, through touch, through neglect. The enemy has not been attacking you loudly because loud attacks would have made you rise up and fight. No. He has been attacking you silently because silent attacks make you doubt yourself. And the battlefield he chose was not your mind first, not even your heart, it was your crown. Your hair has been absorbing the spiritual shrapnel of every room you have walked through, every jealous glance, every manipulative word spoken about you when you were not there to defend yourself. It has been collecting the residue of environments that were hostile to your calling, and because you did not know what it meant, you thought the heaviness was your fault. You thought the dullness in your eyes meant you had lost your spark. But heaven says, your spark was never gone, only buried under spiritual debris. Understand this. The enemy targeted your hair precisely because it is your signal. In the unseen realm, your hair is like a beacon announcing your identity to heaven's armies. It glows with the mark of the called, the chosen, the appointed, and those who serve darkness saw that glow. They recognized your crown before you even knew you were wearing it. That is why they moved against you, not with swords, but with whispers, not with open war, but with slow corrosion. They convinced people to belittle you, to mock your appearance, to question your beauty, to make you cut, burn, cover, or hate your own crown. Because if they could make you despise your crown, they could make you abandon your destiny without realizing it. This is why you have felt drained even after resting, why your soul feels frayed even when your body is still. It is not fatigue, it is spiritual bleeding. It is the consequence of carrying attacks meant to make you invisible. But Michael has seen every assault. He has stood between you and the arrows, deflecting what he could until the moment came for heaven to intervene completely. That moment is now. This is why heaven has stopped everything to speak to you. Because if you do not reclaim your crown now, the erosion will continue and it will not stop until it has buried your calling in silence. Chosen one, you are not broken, you are under siege, and it ends here. Chosen one, what you must know now is this. Heaven has not stood by in silence. While you walked through the shadows, thinking you were forgotten, heaven was moving. While you questioned if anyone saw the war raging inside you, Michael was already standing guard with his sword drawn. He has been watching, not from a distance, but from the edge of every battlefield where your spirit bled. And now, heaven has commanded him to intervene because the war over your crown has reached its critical point. There are moments in spiritual history when heaven does not merely observe, it steps in with force. This is one of those moments. Michael has been released not to comfort you, but to confront what has been confronting you. He has been sent to tear down the unseen altars where your crown was being cursed, to scatter the words that were spoken in darkness, and to cut through the webs of manipulation that were tightening around your destiny. The silence you have felt was not abandonment, it was the pause before the strike, and the strike has now begun. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but in the realm of the spirit, Michael is standing over you. His sword is drawn, and it burns with the fire of God's justice. He is severing every invisible chain that has been wrapped around your hair, chains of shame, of mockery, of exhaustion, of confusion. He is sweeping away the residue of every curse that tried to cling to your crown, every whisper that said you were not enough, every shadow that tried to convince you you were fading. They are being silenced right now. What the enemy spent years building around you is collapsing in moments under the weight of heaven's decree. This is the turning point. What was draining you will now begin to release you. What once resisted you will start to yield. Where there was heaviness, light will descend. Michael is not only defending you, he is resetting the atmosphere around you. The space that was hostile to your spirit is being cleared and consecrated. The crown that was dulled is being polished with heavenly fire. You are not merely being protected, you are being restored. Chosen one, understand this with absolute certainty. You are no longer alone on the battlefield. Heaven has stepped in, Michael has taken his stand. And from this moment forward, the war over your crown will not end in your defeat, it will end in your awakening. Chosen one, you need to grasp this with absolute clarity. Your hair is not only a crown, it is a shield. It was never meant to be ornamental, it was forged as armor. While the world sees strands, heaven sees a spiritual barrier, a living hedge placed around your soul. It stands as the first line of defense between your spirit and the venom of the world. This is why the enemy targeted it first, because if he can breach your shield, he can reach your soul. Every day, without realizing it, you walk through spiritual crossfire. Envy glances at you like arrows. Jealousy breathes curses under its breath. Environments soaked in darkness press against your skin like smoke. And though your spirit stands strong, your hair has been the quiet guard absorbing the impact. It catches what was meant to pierce you. It deflects what was sent to drain you. And yet, because you have not understood its purpose, you've neglected your shield. You've left it uncovered, unguarded, unspoken for. And the enemy has taken advantage of that silence. Understand this. When your hair becomes dull, when it feels heavy or lifeless, it is not a cosmetic issue, it is a signal. It is the sound of your shield taking damage. It is your spiritual armor crying out for reinforcement. And when you ignore that cry, you allow spiritual toxins to seep past your defenses and reach the core of who you are. That is why you felt confusion where there used to be clarity, fear where there used to be courage, numbness where there used to be fire. Your shield has been thinning. And if the shield falls, the war will move inward. The enemy knows this. That is why he convinced you to dismiss your hair as vanity, as superficial, as unimportant. Because if he could make you abandon your shield, he could invade without resistance. He does not need to destroy you outright. He only needs you to lower your guard. But heaven is revealing the truth now because the cost of ignorance has become too high. The longer you underestimate your shield, the more access darkness will gain. Chosen one, you cannot afford to leave your shield undefended anymore. Your hair is not simply a part of your appearance. It is the barrier standing between your destiny and the forces sworn to erase it. Protect it, honor it, strengthen it. Because if your shield breaks, the battle will come for your soul. Chosen one, what you have called hair is far more than what you see in the mirror. It is not just a shield, it is your antenna. Heaven designed it as a spiritual receptor, a living instrument tuned to divine frequencies. While your mind processes information, your hair senses it before thought ever forms. It picks up the whispers of the spirit, the subtle warnings, the hidden shifts in the atmosphere. It receives what your eyes cannot see, what your ears cannot hear, what your logic cannot grasp, and passes it directly into your soul. This is why the enemy has fought so hard to dull it. He is not afraid of your beauty, he is afraid of your perception, because perception exposes his lies before they can take root. Your hair has been heaven's signal tower on your body, alerting you to danger, aligning you with truth, connecting you with your ancestral line and your divine calling. Every strand is like a filament of spiritual lightning, receiving impressions from the unseen realm and carrying them into your spirit. When it is vibrant, your discernment sharpens. When it is heavy, your spiritual sight grows dim. That is not a coincidence, that is spiritual circuitry. Think about the moments you sensed. Something was wrong before anyone said a word. The unease in your spirit, the sudden stillness in your chest. That was your antenna stirring. Or the moments you felt sudden peace in the presence of someone carrying light, that was your hair resonating with heaven's signal. You have called it intuition, instinct, gut feeling, but it has been your crown all along, quietly receiving divine transmissions. The enemy has seen this. He has watched you walk into rooms glowing with heaven's code, and he has tried to scramble the frequency, not with loud attacks, but with interference, pollution of energy, confusion of identity, lies whispered until you questioned your own clarity. Chosen one, if he can sever your antenna, he can sever your connection to divine instruction. And if you lose that connection, you will walk blind in a world that is hunting you. That is why heaven is speaking now, because your survival depends on your sensitivity. This is not about beauty. This is about navigation. This is about hearing heaven when the world is shouting lies. You must treat your hair as the sacred antenna it island. Cleanse it, guard it, honor it, because your future will not be guided by what you see. It will be guided by what you can sense. Chosen one, it is time you understand this sobering truth. The way you treat your hair is a mirror of how you treat your destiny. This is not symbolism, this is spiritual law. Heaven watches how you handle what carries your crown, because it reveals how you will handle what carries your calling. Your hair is not an accessory to your life. It is an extension of your assignment. To neglect it is to neglect the mantle God placed on you. To honor it is to honor the one who crowned you before you took your first breath. Every time you touch your hair, you are declaring something to the unseen realm. When you brush it with reverence, you proclaim, I value what God entrusted to me. When you tend to it with care, you announce to heaven, I will not treat my anointing lightly. But when you ignore it, rush past it, strip it of its vitality, or speak curses over it, my hair is awful, ugly, hopeless. You are echoing the very words the enemy wants you to believe about your calling. And heaven hears it. Hell hears it too. This is why the enemy has worked relentlessly to convince you your hair does not matter, because if he can get you to despise it, he can make you despise your destiny without realizing it. If he can make you treat it as worthless, he can make you believe you are unworthy. If he can make you call your crown messy, broken, or beyond repair, he can make you believe the same about your purpose. It is not about vanity, it is about identity. And identity, once fractured, becomes vulnerable to theft. Look back on the seasons when you abandoned your crown. Weren't they the same seasons you began to question your purpose? The same seasons when your confidence crumbled, when you stopped dreaming boldly, when you settled for less than what heaven whispered was yours. That was no coincidence. How you treat your crown shapes how you carry your calling. Chosen one, heaven is not asking you to worship your hair. Heaven is commanding you to recognize it as sacred, to treat it like the symbol of your assignment, to speak life into it, the way you must speak life into your future. Every strand is an altar. Every touch is an act of prophecy. Tend to your hair like you tend to your destiny, because in heaven's eyes they are the same. Chosen one, now that heaven has revealed the truth, you cannot remain passive. Revelation demands a response. Knowledge without action becomes disobedience, and disobedience will cost you your crown. Heaven has not uncovered the warfare around your hair, so you can simply admire the insight. This message was sent to initiate a shift. The enemy has been working in secret for years, but God is offering you a moment that can reset decades. That moment is now, and it begins with a sacred act of restoration. Do not misunderstand this. This is not about beauty routines. This is not about products, trends, or surface appearances. This is about consecration. In the same way priests in ancient days anointed the altar with oil before entering the holy place, you are being called to anoint the crown heaven placed upon your head. This is not about appearance, it is about alignment. This act will not just cleanse your hair, it will cleanse the spiritual atmosphere around you. Heaven's instruction is simple, but its power is immeasurable. Take 2 minutes and remove every distraction. Enter silence as if you are stepping onto holy ground. Place your hands on your hair not as someone touching something common, but as a priest touching something sacred. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Imagine light descending from heaven, strand by strand, saturating every follicle with life. See every thread glowing like liquid fire, burning away the residue of past words, past wounds, past curses. Feel the heaviness lifting. Feel your crown being restored. Speak to your hair, even if your voice trembles. Tell it to release everything that does not belong, every hidden curse, every absorbed wound, every trace of fear or shame. Then tell it to receive everything heaven prepared for you, every blessing, every promise, every spark of divine energy. Your words will matter, because your crown remembers. What you declare will set the pattern for what heaven releases. Do not rush this. Do not treat this lightly. 2 minutes of full surrender can accomplish what years of striving could not. Heaven is not asking for effort. It is asking for attention. Because when your attention aligns with heaven, power flows. And when power flows, restoration becomes inevitable. Chosen one, this is the moment your crown begins to shine again. Do this not as a ritual of vanity, but as an act of war. Because every strand you restore is territory reclaimed from the enemy, and every inch of your crown restored is an inch of your destiny returned to you. Chosen one, listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you is not gentle, and it is not optional. Delay is not neutral. Delay is deadly. Every moment you hesitate, the enemy gains ground. Every day you postpone obedience, the shield around your soul thins. You think you are simply waiting for the right time, but in the unseen realm, waiting without action is surrender. Heaven has sounded the alarm, and if you do not move now, what is meant to crown you will be stolen and worn by another. Do not be deceived. Time is not your ally. Time is the battlefield. Every hour you linger in indecision, the curses spoken over your crown remain active. Every day you treat your hair as common, the poison of old words continues seeping deeper. Delay does not freeze the war, it feeds it. While you hesitate, the whispers of mockery keep echoing. While you procrastinate, the residue of shame keeps binding. While you distract yourself, the enemy keeps reinforcing his claim over what God gave you. This is not a pause, this is erosion. Understand this. The enemy does not need to destroy you with one massive blow. He only needs you to do nothing. He wins not by overpowering you, but by outweighting you. He thrives in your hesitation. He hides in your delay. Because as long as you delay, you will not resist. As long as you delay, you will not cleanse your crown. And as long as you delay, the power heaven wants to pour through you remains locked, dormant, inaccessible. What should be flowing as lightning becomes stagnant as dust. Do not tell yourself you will do it when you have time. Heaven is not waiting for your schedule to clear. Heaven is commanding your obedience now. There are windows in the spirit that open only once. Miss them, and they do not return. You think you can circle back to this moment later, but you will not find it again. The atmosphere will change. The assignment will shift, and the blessing waiting to descend on you will move to the one who was ready when you were not. This is not to terrify you, this is to wake you, because the cost of delay is not inconvenience, it is destiny. If you delay, the fire in your crown will dim. If you delay, your discernment will dull. If you delay, your influence will wither before it blossoms. But if you move now, If you act in faith while heaven is speaking, you will shatter the cycle of erosion and ignite the chain of restoration. Chosen one, heaven has cleared the battlefield for you. The window is open, but not for long. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Do not wait for another sign. This is the sign. This is the hour. And if you step through it, everything changes. Chosen one, you must understand this with unwavering clarity. The restoration of your hair is not an isolated miracle. It is the trigger for a total realignment of your life. When heaven heals the crown, heaven heals everything beneath it. Your hair is not a decoration. It is the apex of your spiritual structure. And when the apex is realigned, the entire structure obeys. This is why the enemy targeted it first, because he knew if he could corrupt the crown, he could destabilize everything built under it. Your health, your clarity, your confidence, your relationships, your purpose. But now, heaven is moving to reverse the sequence. As your crown rises, everything else will follow. Do not underestimate this. You have seen only the surface of what this restoration will do, but heaven has already seen the dominoes lining up behind it. When the weight lifts from your hair, the fog will lift from your mind. The confusion that clouded your decisions will break like mist under sunlight. The exhaustion that sat on your shoulders will evaporate. The scattered fragments of your confidence will gather again like embers reigniting. Your spiritual perception will sharpen, your voice will regain authority, and the dreams that felt out of reach will begin to move toward you with supernatural speed. This is not wishful thinking, this is spiritual cause and effect. Because your hair is not just the crown on your head, it is the crown on your timeline. It sits at the highest point of your body for a reason. It is the point of spiritual entry. As it becomes whole, new currents of life will surge down through your spirit, your mind, your body. Old illnesses will begin to lose their grip because their root was spiritual exhaustion. Emotional wounds will begin to close because their infection fed on the shame tangled in your hair. Financial breakthroughs will emerge because the favor that was blocked at your crown will begin flowing again. Everything that withered under the shadow of a dim crown will bloom in the light of its restoration. You must expect this. You must prepare for this. Do not treat this like a small change. Treat it like a tectonic shift. Because when your crown shines again, people will notice, and they will not understand why they are drawn to you. Opportunities will appear without explanation. Conversations will open that had been locked for years. Doors will swing wide, not because you forced them, but because heaven will recognize you again, as marked, as radiant, as ready. The world will see beauty. The unseen realm will see authority. Chosen one. This is what is waiting on the other side of your obedience. The restoration of your hair is not about strands, it is about systems. When your crown is restored, your entire destiny will rise to meet it. Chosen one. Now hear this. Heaven has not only restored your hair, it has consecrated it. This is no longer just the crown you were born with. It has become the crown you were sworn into. What once was simply given has now been sealed by covenant. The strands upon your head have been marked with holy fire, and from this moment forward, they are not merely yours, they are heaven's. They are no longer vulnerable to the curses of men, the jealousy of enemies, or the lies of darkness. They are sanctified, set apart, claimed by the throne. Do you understand the weight of that? Consecration is not a blessing, it is a binding. It is heaven's way of saying, this one belongs to me, and no one may lay claim. When priests were consecrated in ancient days, oil was poured upon their heads, running down their hair, symbolizing that every thought, every word, every action now flowed under divine ownership. That same declaration has now been spoken over you. The oil has been poured. The decree has been issued. Your hair now bears the seal of heaven's jurisdiction. This means the enemy no longer has legal access to what he once touched. The chains that clung to your strands have been broken, not loosened, but shattered. The whispers that wrapped around your crown like smoke have been scattered by the wind of God's breath. Every curse has been revoked. Every claim has been annulled. What once marked you for destruction now marks you for glory. Your hair has become an altar, and altars are untouchable without consequence.